Hello, everybody. Let me get a couple of these things off the screen. Happy Monday. We love a good Monday, right? A good stash review Monday. But so good to see everybody. Hi, Glenna and Diane, Sherry, and Connie. Good to see you ladies in here. I am trying something a little bit different. I don't have my AirPods in today. I did not charge them. That's on me. But hopefully the sound and everything will be okay for you guys. I am using my iPad here. We had to do something funky with the tripod thing here because it was not doing what I needed it to do for the iPad. So we had to jimmy rig it with some twine and some other things to get it to set like this, because when I'm demoing, I can go full screen like this, and then I can zoom in like super close to the demo, and that will hopefully that will make things a bit easier for you guys. So I am gonna back out of this quick because I have to do it from one view to the other. So bear with me as we learn this new thing here, and then I'll try and keep learning about this switcher thing to keep bringing some good things to you guys. Ooh, looks like we have a whole party in here. Lynn, Kathy, Aunt Jean, Uncle Doug, Cheryl, Lynn, Stephanie, Peggy. Ooh, man, we got a good old audience today, and I bet you're gonna love it because we do have some really great things. So let's start the quote-unquote unboxing, because I did unpack everything so I could take a picture of it for the timer countdown. But let's dig into some of the things that you would have gotten for this stash review. So you guys love the fairy wood print here. It's high quality UV print. Absolutely gorgeous. I did feature this in a necklace during last week's Wednesday Live. So these are available on vintageliveshop.com down there at the bottom in the case you wanted to buy some more. So I do have those, and then I do have it in a kit as well. So if you wanted to buy the kit, you could get the kit. This really beautiful 14K plated pewter-based floral ring. It's really pretty, and you can add some resin and paint into this bezel-like top there, which is absolutely stunning. Very pretty. It is a size 8, so you can wear it as a ring, or you can form it into a piece of jewelry. Looks like everybody's talkative today. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you too. And Jean, thank you. She says she loves this stash. And then we have these bird connectors. So there's a loop on either side here, and these are pre-painted with what looks to be turquoise, and I hate to say it, but I think this was our jade or malachite when we had like the patina line. So maybe I would use like a mixture of like bright green and emerald green to kind of achieve that effect. Maybe Jean could fill you guys in a little bit more on that darker green tone there. And then we have these two pewter based. These are just pewter. They're not plated or anything. They're plated or not plated, pewter based. Really beautiful frames. We love those. And I do sell the natural brass version of these as well. If you type in P0020 on vintageliveshop.com, those will pull up for the natural brass version. Otherwise, I think these are PT019, which those are also available on vintageliveshop.com. You're going to get some ball chain here. Love some good old ball chain. And then we have some really cute beads and that massive Swarovski green bead as well, that crystal-y one, as well as those two really beautiful, I want to almost call it like a periwinkle blue because it's so pretty, but it's not like blue and it's not periwinkle. It's kind of a really good mix between the two. So lay those out, and those cute little spacer beads as well. So you'll get a few of those. And then we are featuring this panel today. which these make great earrings, and wood is super fun to work with. And I have a feeling that some people haven't even touched our wood panels yet, so this is a really good sample to start learning how to work with wood and meshing it into your jewelry. So you could do like UV print wood, or you can paint or stain or antique your own on this side. Sounds like a recipe for jade green, bright green, and emerald green. Perfect. Thanks, Aunt Jean. Hi, Pam. Oh, no problem. You'll have to watch the replay if you can only listen to the live today. But that's okay. Totally okay. All right. You guys know that for the past several months we've been doing design on the flies, and I think that is what just the stash is going to end up being, is going to be a design on the fly. I don't necessarily have time to prep designs prior to, so you guys are always just going to get a design on the fly for the stash, whether it's myself. I think Wendy's done one for me before, and then I think a few other people have done them before, so we'll see what we get to. But for starters here, I'm gonna unpack, quote unquote, unpack this panel, and the panels that you have gotten should have this sticky adhesive backing to them, so you're just going to peel that, and some of your pieces will pop out as you're peeling it. So for instance, those, got that beautiful teardrop there, got that really nice circle, got another teardrop. And we'll pull these down. We're almost there. Okay, so that should be all of it. And you can just throw your sticky back away. And then you have all of your pop outs, which that's fun to do, is to pop out your pieces like that. Also, don't throw these away. If you're gonna, let's say you have like 20 different panels, they're gonna have all different shapes, all different sizes. Don't throw these away. These are amazing for when you're cutting out shapes, whether you're using vinyl or let's say you got like one of those really big like 4x4 pieces of metal, like that, just that big square. You can lay this on top of it. I wish I had one of those squares here, because it would be a perfect example. But let's just do it. I'll just do it on the bag here quick. So let's pretend that this is like a big piece of metal here. I don't think I have a Sharpie on me either. I don't know if the pen's gonna work. I'm just gonna mark out a square. It's a little hard, but I would put your stencil on like this on your metal, mark it with a Sharpie, and you could do like the whole thing too if you wanted to use a lot more of the metal than what your just one piece would be. So you do that, you can see all the shapes there, and then you just follow your Sharpie line, which I don't have a Sharpie on me at this moment, but you guys get the gist. And then you can cut out your shapes that are already pre-made and stenciled out for you. So keep those stencils. They're a really, really great tool for when you're trying to create shapes, especially on those metal blanks. All of those blanks would be super, super great to use with those panel things. I'm thinking I actually might have a large enough blank over here. Let's see. Maybe like the mushroom blank here. We'll just do the mushroom blank for now, because that's just what I had. But you would put your little, let's say your mushroom blank or something, and you wanted to do like a little teardrop out of it. You would place it on there, do your little Sharpie marks, and then cut it out, which I think is amazing. So you're getting stencil shapes and your pop outs with those panels. Love it, love it, love it. And we don't like wasting things, so if we can get some extra use out of some other things, let's do it. Okay, so that's a big sampling here. Let me bring you up just a little bit of stuff. Trying to fit it all in frame here, because holy cow, lots of stuff to work with today. Okay, let's get Designing on the fly is always fun to watch. Oh, thanks, Peg. Lynn said, OM gosh, I never thought of that. I've thrown all the others away. I'll keep this one. Yes, keep them. Keep them. You'll have your own little stencil set. And they're wood, so they're going to last a long time. It's not like those plastic stencils that you get that sometimes are hard to trace with. Like the wood is thick. Your pen will follow those lines perfectly. Imagine if you purchased textured metal blanks and using this as a guide on them. Exactly. All right, let's dig into some fun jazz. So I was thinking maybe this stone one of the ways combined with this piece somehow. Maybe do something like this. I drew in light colors at first. So I'm thinking birds can be like a base portion of the necklace, potentially. I'm liking how the birds are looking. I wish that one was facing the opposite direction. That's not bad though. Do I like it that way more? Or do I like it the other way more? Maybe that way. You like it that way. Can do something like that. Twist that sideways. See how I like it sideways. We could form two loops if we put two pieces of wire through the center here and curved one down and curved one up to hold, potentially. I'll keep thinking about that. I'm not sold on it, so we'll put that off to the side for now. I usually like to put things and set them out together of possibilities, and then usually I don't start working on them until I am completely satisfied with whatever design is being used. Maybe we'll do something like that for some earrings. Those are looking cute. Maybe we can top them with some of these. Like that. Maybe bring that one down. That might be a maybe on this one. This one is kind of, you can see here, it's a little dapped. So I'm curious if this will kind of cup the top of that a little bit and then do that. That would be kind of cute. Maybe put one on top too so it, not sold. We'll think about that. But I am pretty much sold on this ensemble. I mean, you could do it either way. You could do it with the teardrops pointing down or them pointing up. I do like that a lot. Otherwise, we can pull these out and see what these would look like. Not sold on that. Do the circles fit in there? Ooh, they kind of rest right on it. That's not bad, but definitely don't want to do that. And you definitely could do it. I'm just thinking for all my own personal preference here. So I'm pretty sold on this. So we'll keep that as a design. Oh, do we still have the big sheet metal squares on Live Shop? Yes, we do. The birds are chasing each other. Yes, Stephanie. I keep all of them and have used them to make pieces out of brass and copper. That is amazing, Deborah. You're way ahead of the game. Love it, love it, love it. So I am, we'll say, sold on this design. So let's start piecing it together. I'm going to grab a couple jump rings. And these are going to have to be a little bit bigger because they do need to go over the wood there. So I'm going to grab a couple JR106s. It's that etched ring. We'll see what these look like on. I'm curious. And then we'll find a way to attach those really pretty blue marquee crystals there. There we go. Might need to adjust my loop a little bit. These are soft frames because they are pewter. So I'm going to pull my loop back up there. So we're starting with that. Grab another jump ring. This one's still JR106. We'll put that onto the wood there. What's the weather like where you guys are at? We had a really amazing 80-degree weather on, I think, Saturday it was. And then yesterday it was like 50. Today it's probably 50. I think we're supposed to get a little like higher 60s later this week. But that 80-degree weather, you guys, oh goodness. You best believe my butt was so productive this weekend doing yard work and whatever else I could do outside. And I worked out as well, so things are looking to be on the mend with the weather over here. I'm trying to see if I have any F20s that I could wrap these in, because I didn't bring those over here. But I wanted to wrap some of those, or at least wrap one. We'll see if it fits. I found one. We'll see if this works. I think I'm going to have to do it. I could roll it. I could do something like that. But I didn't want it to be horizontal. But what would it look like horizontal? Just curious. Let's put this in here. If it'll let me set it up straight. Gee. I mean, that's not bad, but I do want it like marquee style, so might have to find something else to wrap this in. That way it just stays secure, because it is a little bit bigger. So I'll contemplate what you can wrap that with. I know I have some ferns over here, so I'm curious if we could wrap some. But that might cover up a lot of the blue. But if we do it the back way, could open it back up, potentially. I'm just going to try and do it with the fern here. You guys know we are doing design on the fly, so some things work and some things don't work. So we're gonna see if we can get this to hold this really pretty blue crystal. And pull up all the sides. So I'm just taking all these fern component things and making them follow the curvature of the marquee crystal here. See where it would fall out if it were to fall out, because those are the places that I want to crimp in so it doesn't fall out. Probably curl that up a bit more. Ooh, this one could be really pretty, you guys. Just design on the fly. You guys know, sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. So I'm here to make all the mistakes for you, so you guys have a really good base to go from. I'm kind of liking this fern though. Let me just shake this around up here. Looks like we're pretty good. Blue skies, high 70s, beach weather in Corpus. Ugh, I wish. Since he was 87 yesterday. 30s in west burbs of Chicago, 95 in Dallas. Lynn said cold mornings, warming up to 60 and sunny. Ooh, so it sounds like it's getting better. I love it. These filigree work well with that stone. What C2H60? Which one's that one? You'll have to explain it to me, Jane. So I can maybe do one like that. But hey, the fern worked out super well. It stays in there. It's nice and secure. Yeah, that works good. I could probably do a little bit more of the crunching in, but you guys get the gist. I'm not going to waste your time too much. But hey, that's, oh, let me zoom this in. That's way good. So you could do it with the fern forward if you wanted to, but I kind of like that as a backing, and then these would be considered quote unquote like reversible. So let me grab, I do have some copper JR20s over here, which I think is going to be a good size. But I want it facing the crystal forward. We'll see if the JR20 fits in this little hole here. Give me enough room for my crystal to hang, maybe. I have to string my jump ring first, probably. Oh! Okay, well, Corian's not gonna deal with that, so we're just gonna take our bead awl to it and stick that in the hole there. Careful with the pewter because it does bend a little bit, so you can always bend it back, but just want to make sure that I get that hole a little bit bigger so it's easier for me to thread that jump ring through without overworking it. So if you overwork a jump ring, then it kind of loses its shape. Let's see if that might be a little too small. We might need to do a JR30, ladies. JR30s are just a little bit bigger than the JR20s, but I did find a JRV86, which is that one of those tiny jump ring sampler pack jump rings that we'll use instead, because that's what I have off to the side. I'll get that strung on there. And we'll see where that hangs. We gotta go this way. I think I put it on backwards. I did. At least from where I wanted it, but oh well. That's super cute anyway, but I would want it facing this way personally. And then you could take out this little flower here, which would help it just a little bit, just the bottom half. Keep this frame part intact, but get rid of maybe this flower so it doesn't sit on one side or the other. It can sit comfortably in the middle. I do like that. Beautiful. We'll consider that one and done, but I am going to flip that crystal around really quick. And then we'll figure out what the heck else we're going to do with this stash, because there is quite a bit, and I'm excited to do some painting too. So I'm saving the painting for the larger pieces, the more detailed larger pieces. I need my other pliers here to close that up. Gorgeous. Now we're facing the right way. And then we're going to need a jump ring and potential ear wire for the top of that. Will this ear wire work? So I'm grabbing one of our old, maybe I won't do that one. Maybe I'll do the ER01. Yeah, we'll do that one. I like the Shepherd Hooks ear wire a ton. But I am going to need another jump ring because the wood thickness is too thick to do a direct connection between the ear wire and the piece of wood. So I'm going to use a JR40, JRV40. And then this is going to have to twist. Or you can, no, I don't think the C2H030 will work either because I think that's too small. So we're going to adjust our loop to be horizontal facing instead of vertically. And then we're going to take that JR40 there, string that onto the wood, and then string our ear wire on. I'll close that up. Gorgeous. Love, 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 love. Could do a little bit of antiquing or painting on the frame itself as well as the wood if you want to change up those colors a little bit. I think that's stunning. Stunning, stunning. And then I'm going to put this here. Ooh, you guys, you could do the... Let me scoot this way. Ooh. You could do the wrap inside here with the filigree fern wrapping that crystal, and then have one off to the side too, which would be really stunning. And then the filigree that Jean put in there, she can, you guys could wrap that filigree with this, with the fern coming off the frame as well. Uh-oh, what's Peggy saying? She's got no control over her mind. I gotta scroll up. I'm gonna be bad and say that it looks like the fern is having an attitude and flipping someone off. I see it now, Peggy. You're so funny. I love that. If you punch a hole above that opening, you can attach there and keep it from shifting. Oh, yes. I have done that before too, so I would probably do that. Punch your hole if you want to do what Jean said, and punch it right in between your top loop and the hole that this jump ring is going through, and then string your jump ring through that hole, and then hang your fern off. Smart thinking, Aunt Jean. Smart thinking. Okay, so I think that's enough for these earrings. I'm going to probably photograph these like this so you guys can see that you can do it with the fern wrap this way or do a fern wrap this way. So I am liking that. Zoom this out a little bit. I think that's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna pull these over this way, and then at the end we'll do a mini look of what we've come up with for this stash. Okay, let's bring these stinkers back on. Maybe we'll see here. I'm not super sold on this crystal and this wood, and it's only because of the size. They're nearly identical in size, specifically in width. And I'm one of those people that I like to do like the pyramid houses. So from this point, if I were to have this as a base, I'd want something that kind of comes up to a point to point it off and then into our necklace. This is throwing me off a little bit, so I'm not the biggest fan of this combo, but we'll see what we can do with that. We'll punch a hole through there or something and have it hanging from the ring as if it's like bead capped because of the ring bezel. Bring it up, but that's also pretty dang close in size. We do have some wood pieces here. Is there any wrapping we could do with these? Potentially. Could do something like that. We'll see. Can do a little connector with that. I'm kind of liking that. Let's see what this would look like with a potential bird. This one's a little bit of a thinner piece, so it might be, or width-wise, thinner than this piece. So this might be a little bit easier to wrap. I'm not sold. Maybe bring it up. Not sold yet. Use the same hole maybe. And then take off the bottom loop. Yeah, let's play around with that a little bit. because we're going to do some painting too. So these could look cool. I would probably do this one because this one's a little bit longer. So these could look cool with, I would remove that bottom loop and paint these wood pieces. So let me get out some paint. Let's start a little bit of painting. Hi, Lorraine. Good to see you in here. There's lots of different techniques going on right now. It's a design on the fly, so we're getting our brain situated about how we want to make these look. And what colors? So there's green and blue on there. What color would I want as a backing? Maybe like a darker brown, maybe like a reddy brown. Maybe we'll do a little bit of sepia and brick red, because the brick red's got the red, sepia's got the brown. And then maybe we'll do, we'll see what these look like on, and then I will see what we want to do going forward. So brick red, sepia brown. I'll shake those up. And I'm going to get a thin bristle brush because this is pretty detailed. I don't want to keep a lot of the detail. I kind of want it just as a background thing, even though I absolutely love this design. So I'm going to grab out my paintbrush here. I think I'm going to do some of the red on the inside, some of the brown on the outside. We'll see. We'll see. Let me take me off screen again. Get a little bit of a bigger area for you guys to see. All right. How do I want to do this? I'm going to focus the antiques kind of in this spot. I'm going to keep my design back there, but I want the design to be the bricky red color, and then I'll do the sepia color kind of around it. We'll see how that looks. And then that'll determine what we do next. I love these paints on the wood. Paints, stains, antiques, all of them work really well on the wood. I think Jean just did some really cool, she did a really cool sun, a wood sun with the design, with a really cool design. And she did some cool antiquing colors on there. You guys should watch that demo because that one's really, really cool. All right, so we have our brick red down. I'm going to try the sepia brown. Have you been here with me before, Lorraine? I think I recognize your name a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's good to have you in here regardless. And we do these free Facebook Live demos. Well, this one's a stash class. And usually this one's an exclusive class, but we're doing a little bit of advertising for people to sign up for the Backstage Pass, which all that information can be found on vintaj.com, but I will put this up here. So the Backstage Pass is a just under $35, and you get what I'm working on now is the stash shipment. So it's our thank you goodie bag that is retailed $75 or higher, and you're going to get that shipment every month. On top of that shipment, you're going to get exclusive live classes every Monday, unless there's 5 weeks, because we only do 4 a month. So we'll skip a week if there's 5 weeks, and then we'll go into the next month. But you should sign up for it because it's amazing. And then you get really great rewards, etc., etc. And if you do sign up for the Backstage Pass, I will send you an email that will point you directly to that Facebook group for you to join. And only our Backstage Pass holders, our subscription ladies, get access to that masterclass group. And not only do you get the masterclass Facebook group, but you also get the masterclass library, which is found on vintaj.com. And you have to be signed into your account, and you have to be subscribed to access that that masterclass library on vintaj.com. So it's really great. Amazing deals. It's been a while though. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Good to see you and good to have you back though. Ooh, Lynn has used a head pin. That works super well. And I'm loving just the very, very, very slight variation between the sepia and the brick red. And I think I almost want to add a little bit of white. So I'm going to shake up my white. I'm going to put just a tiny dab of that because the white can overtake and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to put a little bit of that white. I'm going to mix up just a little bit of whatever's brushed on my, left on my brush here. I'm going to do like a little bit of edging, just a little bit on the edges, circle it in a tiny bit, but you don't need a lot, just a tiny bit, because I don't want it to be too crazy, but I do want some little variation. I might need to do a little bit more white though, because I'm running out. The wood, you'll notice, takes up, reuses, and soaks up a lot of paint, so just be mindful that your paints are going to soak in a lot faster and dry a lot faster on the wood than they do on the metal. We're going to just do a little bit more of this around the edges. Get it very artistic looking. I'll dab some of that off with my finger there. I don't want it to be too heavy, but that's looking good. I might add like a little bit in this spot here. Don't want it to look like it was super intentional. I just want it to look a little fun, a little messy, and artistic. Artistic. Just so you heard me right on that. Okay. That's beautiful. I am liking that. Might do a little heavier on the white on right here. Just a little bit. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. I'm going to dunk my brush. And now we'll see what these beauties look like. Yeah. Compared to like the lighter color, I'm liking the darker reds and stuff together. Let's see here. So I could go downward. I could go upward. Upward would take away some of that design. And I'm actually really liking the way that those are looking. So I don't know if I necessarily want to top these yet. We'll pull those off. I think I'm going to do these with those. Moving my brain around and around we go. Until I figure out what I want. Maybe we will keep these birds for that. We'll keep thinking about that a little bit. We'll put the ring up there. I was saving the ball chain for potentially the necklace, which would be the fairy there up at the top. We could keep these just simple, too. Ooh, I could do a... let's try that. Let me grab a JR45. Or... yeah, let's try the JR45 and see if that works for the idea that I have in my brain. I don't need the rose gold. I just need two of the same color JR45. And it looks like we're going to be pulling the silver. Let's just see if these fit on here. Okay. Okay, maybe it would have to be, it'd have to be a bit bigger, I'm thinking. If I wanted to back them like that. Back the one on. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I need a smaller one. I just want to see what it looks like on the front here. Almost looks like I'm bleeding with the paint colors that I used this time. I'm not though. Yeah, maybe that won't work. I'll have to, oh no, of course I just dropped it. I could wire wrap it too and make a loop. Maybe I'll just do the one on the top here. Okay, we need a little bit of wire. Let me try this. This is an HPF, and that might be too. Yep. Let me grab another HP here and see if the thicker HP will fit that. Yeah, that fits good. Let me shove that through there. And then maybe put a chaton on it. Make it a wrapped loop. We'll see. We'll see if the wrapped loop concept will work for this. Actually, what if I came across the top and then came underneath? I need just a little bit more room there. Let me slide this under, please. I don't know if I left enough room. Oh yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna squeeze that in a bit more. Alright, so we got that wrapped around. Coming up through the bottom, and then I'm gonna create a loop here on the top. Let me get this twist around the back here. If it don't let me. Alright. Sometimes I really have to just pinch the loop of it so I can get it starting to turn around here. Okay. That's not bad. But I do want to bring this down a little bit more to the wood. That's kind of cute. Maybe we'll do another ear wire over here. Oh, I have a silver. Maybe we'll do. That's kind of cute. The little bead there up top. You let those dangle. I am liking that. I might do another. Probably should have wrapped this a little bit tighter. Yeah, that's pretty cute though. I am liking that. And then we could do like a brushing of. Let's grab a little bit of a thicker brush maybe. Let me do like a brushing of iridescent or whatnot on here. We'll do iridescent blue on top because that's the first one that I grabbed. No, we're not. I'm gonna do iridescent gold. The second one that I grabbed. The blue might look a little funky on but it might not. It might look really good. I'm gonna put a little bit of the iridescent gold over here. And we're gonna unclog it. Okay. Could always go really avant-garde and make it an eye. Oh yeah. For sure. Put a little black paint on the head pin part. Keep some of that iridescent on there so when it reflects in the sun it gets shiny. And grab my heat gun over here, soak it up a little bit quicker. Okay, and we'll take a little bit of this. Put that right on the top of the pin there so it matches the color. Looks good for those. I'll move this over to this side. Put those up there. These ones we could do stacking. Something like this. Come up just a little bit here. I'm gonna need another, but I'm gonna do an eye pen for this one. Eye pen, eye pen, eye pen. Okay. How are you guys doing over there? I'm trying to make sure that you guys have enough to see, but then you can still see me talking. Because sometimes it's like, where is she? I can only see her voice, or hear her voice and not see her. So I'm going to stack 4 of these on an eye pin here. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm going to do a loop on this one too. I like the wrapped loops because they're really secure, but I'm not going to do a wrapped loop if both sides aren't wrap looped. So we're just going to make a normal loop out of this one. Okay. And this one, I think I'm going to have to do that same thing. So both of these are going to stay horizontal. So one's facing this way, the other's facing that way. I'm going to bring them both to the same side. And then we'll use the other JR45 that I have down here, silver. I'm going to detail paint this one too. I don't need to have this apart to do that. Okay, liking that. Let's get some of our paints out, do a little bit more with the little tiny paintbrush. Okay, let's do, we will match these to the burn blue-ish. So we'll do cobalt, probably mermaid, bright blue. We'll see what these colors look like. This is my favorite panel that Wendy designed. Love the lotus flower teardrops especially. I know, those ones are super cute. Could attach those beads with jump rings through the center 2 chain. Yes, for sure. The other one that I dropped would go right here as like your little topper bead. Let's try cobalt first. Cobalt's a little bit darker. Cobalt blue. I don't want to use a lot of that, but it could be a really cool base. I'm actually going to drop a little bit more on my palette here because the wood does soak it up pretty dang fast. Okay, let's do a little bit with cobalt, and then we'll see where the other colors mesh in. I think I'm going to get rid of some of this design in the middle there by doing the cobalt as our dark color. A little bit of that. Do a little bit of this on the other side. You guys sold me out of a lot of those really cool filigree packs that were on vintagelifeshop.com. So props to you guys. Stinks for those that didn't get the opportunity to grab some of those because they went so fast. But if you're interested in seeing some really cool miscellaneous filigree packs, there's some on vintagelifeshop.com as well. Those are warehouse specials, so you're getting the best deal that we can give you on those in particular. And some of those are like one-off filigrees that you've not seen before, etc., etc. I'm going to add a little bit of blue fluorite too to kind of see where this will mesh in, but I'm not cleaning off my brush in between. I like carrying some of those colors over. Let's do a little bit up here maybe. I'm liking that color though. This blue is really pretty. You can go on the edges as well. And my jump rings there, so I'm just gonna slide that underneath. We'll leave that little diamond up there open for something. We'll see what we do with that. These paints look so good on the wood though. And you can do whatever colors. You don't have to do the same color every time. You could change it up. You can ask other people how they'd want them colored and do like custom work, which customs are more expensive to sell too. So think about that when you're doing some of your things. I'm bringing out some of this metallic gold. Put that kind of in this spot because that's gold toned. I'm curious how the blue's gonna mesh with that, so I'm just gonna test it and see what kind of goldy. Oh, that's pretty. And we're matching tones, so that's, yeah, I'm liking that down there. So I'm gonna do this in the diamond, I think, and then we're gonna pull some of this for down below as well. Tone, 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 tone. I think I'm gonna do it on the big stretch line, but I'm gonna cover up 2 lines as I go down for this one. Same going the other way. Okay, then let's pull some. Did I do bright blue yet? Let's try some bright blue. Ooh, the bright blue almost, I think, would look super good up here too in some of those. Maybe like the petals or something. Still not wiping off my brush. I'm just bringing some leftover paint over from the other colors. Maybe, let's see, we'll go every other on this one. And then that's gonna match up on that side. Every other, so we're gonna go up, skip. All right. That's some of that bright blue. That's gonna soak in. So if you want it more opaque, use the paints. If you want it more stained, use the stains. If you want kind of that perfect medium in between, grab your antiques. All right, where did I do this? I did this here, covered up both of them, into this one, and then we skipped that one, go on that one. I always have to say what I'm doing out loud so I don't mess up. Okay, that's a little bit of the bright blue. Let me bring over, I'm trying to do all different colors of blue. I think I had Mermaid Fin out here, I do. Mermaid Fin's a really pretty metallic, which I might go over with a whole iridescent later. We'll see. I'm going to mix some of this with that bright blue from before to tone it down just a little bit. Alright. Love that. And I'm not like being super particular about where the lines are here with color. I just like it when color flows. So lines, coloring inside the lines isn't super important to me. Alright, so I think that's pretty. I want to add some variation into this blue up here. Now that we have a ton of variation down here, maybe do some touches of like this dark blue somewhere. Soak up some of that with my finger, get it dotted around. Maybe we'll add like a little bit of brown too, but I'm going to add the brown to my finger. Okay, a little bit more here. Don't want to add too much to my finger, so that's why you see me dipping my finger and then kind of blotting it off a little bit off to the side. Kind of just to bring it all together. Okay, now, oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't clean out my brush and do my other metallic blue, so hopefully this flows just as nice and doesn't take over too much of that color that I had on there from the brown. Move some of that up there. Okay, bring a little bit of that sepia out. Yeah, see, that's a lot, so I need to dab it down here a little bit to take some of that off, to not overpower, but to add a little bit of antique. We love finger painting. Maybe add some more. I'm gonna do a little bit of this lighter blue up here. Just whatever your eyes love looking at. Aha, yeah, I'm liking that. Could probably add a little bit to the beads here too. We'll see, we'll do just really messy. Maybe some spots of the brown. Make them match a little bit better. Those are very rustic looking. I am using the antique line right now, Connie. Hi, Chris. Okay. It's a lot of paint there, a lot of variation, but it's good because that's what I love. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I do have an ear wire here off to the side. This one's kind of, oh, I think I totally misshaped that one. That was from last week, it looks like. So we'll put this on an ERV 026 because that's what I have. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Okie dokie. Beautiful. I'm going to do that same thing there. Liking those. And pull those up to the side. You have these bad boys. Which I think Jean's done earrings like this before. Maybe we'll do, I want to kind of do like a crazy green combo with a little bit of amber, maybe. I'm shaking up some more paints. I'm going paint crazy today. I'm using as many colors as I can. I'm also designing for Wednesday, which I need to finish those designs by the end of the day today, so we can get that event up and rolling for you guys. But this is hopefully giving me a little bit of creativity for, hopefully it's not taking away my creativity for the designs for Wednesday. Doing the design on the flyer. That's a lot of creativity I have to do today. Okay, so I'm going to try to do some mixtures of our greens here, olive, bright, and emerald greens. And then I'm going to do maybe a little bit of amber yellow. I'm still debating on that, but I'm pulling all of these tones from the fairy up there. So we could do like a necklace combo with these. I'm going to do this with paper towel though. This technique, I'm going to, oops, sorry. I did not mean to jostle you around like that. I'm going to go dark first and then work my up to light. Just add some splatters on there, get some good tones going. Okay. I think that's enough for the dark. Do a little bit of the bright here. Hi, Rosie. Maybe, hold on, I'll do some of the olive green first, and then I'll do like a tiny bit of the bright green. Okay. Do some of that bright green. That's the wrong cap. That's the right cap. Do I want to do like, yeah, maybe I will do it like this. See, the reason why I'm using the same spot on the paper towel here too is I want there to be some variation, but not a whole lot of variation. So since the paint's still wet on the paper towel, it's going to kind of like fuse those colors together in a way, but give you just enough variation to where it's like, oh wow, I love that. I think it means Vogue. I know. Oh, yes. So the V stands for Vogue, or which is our Vogue is our quote unquote. Hold on. Yeah, though. Vogue is our quote unquote solid brass line. So anything that has a V in the part number afterwards, so like ERV 20 or HPV 2 or PV 282. Those are going to be the solid brass versions. Now P282 or BC180, those are going to be natural brass. But the V is input in there for the solid brass version, which I'm trying to go through and update whatever ones we don't have like that to reflect it so things are the same when you're looking at it. But yes, that is correct. But yeah, just think of it as our solid brass. V is solid brass because nothing else will have the V except for solid brass. I have a little bit of this yellow in here, kind of at the top. And I'm going to brush with some gold, I'm thinking. Get my fingers all full of paint. All right, I need a little bit of gold here. But maybe, I think I'm going to spot paint the gold. And I think I'm only going to do it with the tops of these. Yes, it just means solid brass, Peggy. Do you recommend a certain brand of paper towels? No. These are, I think, like Bounty. You can get like the Vivian ones. I don't remember what they're called. I used to get those. Was not a huge fan of those for like cleaning up. They don't soak up like super well, like for counter cleaning and stuff. But yeah, I would do just whatever cheapest paper towel that you got. It doesn't really matter what type of paper towel it is, as long as it's a paper towel. At least from what I've noticed, because I've used maybe 3 different kinds. You know, like the paper brown kind that you get in like public restrooms and stuff. Probably don't use that kind, but you can use anything else that's like that. All right, now where was I? Gold. I was going to do a little bit of this gold on the tips. Let's see here if it'll be saturated enough to do that. Just want a little bit of reflection up there. I'm curious, can you guys hear my music that's playing? I'm just curious because I like listening to music when I'm designing, and I can't hear you guys. I can only read your comments, you know? So I'm listening to music, but the music's coming from my office. So I'm just curious if you guys can hear that. If you can, I'll turn it down. But if you can't, that actually works perfect because I can listen to music while I'm talking to you guys and designing. Maybe, can I do like a little bit on this hourglass up here? Ooh, let me do, who suggested who said they use the head pin and stuff for theirs? I'm gonna do that here, but I'm gonna use whatever little thing that I have. And pick up some of that and drop it right in this like hourglass shape. love that. Okay. So we have some gold touches. Hopefully those dry. Those dry nice. Let's get our heat gun out. Okay, awesome. Amazing. Yes, the brand on the studio supplies list is the Viva brand. I like using the Bounty. Wait, who's standing? There's Cheryl. There's nobody standing behind me. Did you see a ghost? Don't tell me there's a ghost here. Because Jean's over in Idaho. I'm over here in Galena. So if you saw something behind me, tell me now. Before I just bolt out of here. And you can paint the fronts and the backs. I'm just painting the fronts for time saving. And let's connect these with some jump rings too. We're going to use silver. Though I do like gold. The gold look. I don't have any on me right now that I can see. So we're going to pull out the silver here. If you break into song, at least we'll know why. Yes. It's all rock right now, so I don't know if you guys like to hear Corian's rock singing. It's like screamo stuff, some of it. Not necessarily screamo. It's like there's this one girl that I listen to. She mixes like screaming with insane vocals. Her vocals are like incredible. She can just do it. She's so good, and she just started out with that theme music. So if she's already this good with what she's doing, I can only imagine how good she's going to be later down. But I've been loving that so far. Okay, those are super duper cute. Can even do like a little if you feel like a little Dremel or something and drill an extra hole up here, you can use them as connecting points for this as well, which would be cute, but we're going to keep them as cute little earrings. Do the same thing. Grab some ear wires here. I'll just grab this one. And I'm going to need 2 jump rings. I'm going to do a JR40 and then a JR20 in antique. And I'm also, not to mention, I'm also kitting out all of Wednesday's kits from last week as well. So your orders should be shipping here soon, but I just have a lot that I have to do today. So I'm going to try and go through this live pretty quickly. Or as quick as I can, at least. So we got our JR40 there, because it's got to go through the thick wood. And then we're going to hang our JR20. And then that will be what's connecting to our ear wire. Oh, I don't know if I can slide that through there. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Okay, those are cute. Make sure that it sits right. Yeah, love those. Put those off to the side. I'm gonna string this on ball chain. Probably paint your ball chain too. Actually, I might do that. Okay, let's put the ring with the fairy. need 2 JRs. I'll say 40 and see where they sit here. Put another JR40 on the other side. Oops. I'm moving too quick. Okay. Those will go on either side, but they're not going to go over that center flower, so that's nice. Gives you a little bit of texture there. Okay. Just experimenting. Yeah, that's cute. Oh, I like that more though. Okay, let's create a loop for this crystal here. I'm going to use 16 gauge wire to do it over here on my side. But I'm going to use this black hematite color because that's just what I have on hand. Okay, that does fit perfect, so I'm going to make a loop here. Hopefully I can do like some sort of wrapped loop. I'm going to use my number pliers here. I think 4 is a good number, so we'll go on the 4 mark. I want to make sure that I have enough to make a wrapped loop though. I'll pull that down, even if it's just like 1 wrap. All right. I'm just bringing that tail end around so we get a nice secured loop. Okay, slide that bad boy on. Like I said, number 4. Oh, just a little bit. Wrap that down. Bring this around. And pull my loop in just a little bit more there. Okay, and then we're gonna wrap her around. I think I only could do 1 loop on the other side, so I'm gonna try and keep it around that. Clip off this extra little oomph. Tuck your tail. Alright, now I want both of these to be facing same way. Loop bar. Probably some JR20s might work for this. Let's try JR20. Okay. I think we're cruising through this pretty good, ladies and gents. The bird necklace is so cute. Thanks, Rosie. The earrings are so pretty. Thanks, Stephanie. Hi, Carlene. We're just doing our stash review. Yeah, okay. And then connect your ball chain. Something like that. Let me see if I can zoom this out a little bit here. There we go. Alright, so I'm not going to connect these. Though, you could, if you wanted to, you could wire wrap this ball chain to this loop on both sides if you don't have a clasp. And then this might be long enough to go over your head. If it's not, you can split it at the top and the middle and just add one of those ball chain clasps to the back. And then extra chain. I have some like gypsy chain over here, so maybe do like the gypsy chain for that. Let's try it. Seems like I need to add a little bit more chain for these stashes. Okay. Let's get the other gypsy in here. It's so funny to me that I'm literally listening to like screamo music while I'm doing this. Like, I don't think you would think of like screamo and jewelry making being like that, but you know. And even if you span it this way and then have that. I think unless I like put some spacers here or something, this might flip. Hold on, let me just hold it up here. Oh no. That works. That works good. Sorry, you can't see me here. I was seeing where that ring was gonna hang there. But that looks good in the top center. Okay, so let's go over here what we did. Because I think we're finished up now. But to give you guys a good view on here, let me give you a big view again. And zoom out as much as I can. I think that's the best that I'm going to get right now for zoom wise. So I'm going to put this up here in a nice presentable manner. So I'm going to slide everything off and then bring them back on. Alright, so for starters. Oh, hi Lisa. We're just finishing up. We're just going to go over some of the designs here and then I'll do a look at the end of what we have come up with. But I did want to show everybody like potential designs you could do with whatever we came up with during the live today. So you have those earrings. Those are what we started out with. And then we have these earrings. You can do these earrings. I probably put the earrings up top a little bit more so I have room for necklaces and things here. And then we had this pair. Maybe the other one. Okay, so we had all of those. I'm going to bring these up a little bit. all of those earrings, and then let me bring this down here. We'll just say that this is one strand, but to make it look like it fits, we're going to double it up, which is also super cute, doubled as well. And then we can't forget, so how can I move this around here? I'm going to put these ones down a little bit. Get enough room to do the other necklace on the side or something. And then our gypsy chain with our ring. Gorgeous! That's what we came up with for today's stash. Did you guys have fun today? Oh my goodness, my legs. So working out has absolutely killed my body. My legs, they hurt so bad. Everything right here hurts. My arms hurt. I worked out everything. And Ian's like, whatever. I'm like, rub me, please. Give me a massage. But she did, so that was nice. But I think that stuff looks fantastic, and we need to do our look now, and then I'm going to send you on your merry way, and then I'm going to get the rest of my designs done for Wednesday, which you guys are going to freaking love them. Alright, let me... how am I going to do this? I'm going to... I don't think I can... Can I flip this? I can. Amazing. So, our tripod thing here for the iPad, I need it set up a certain way because we have our Ethernet cord connected to it, and I'm not using my phone today, so we're just gonna have to hope that doesn't fall. And you're gonna have to see this in the way because it's rigged to where it wouldn't fall, so I'm not gonna take it down right now. And I probably look freaking goofy, so I got a bag, or I put together a bag of clothes that I'm going to use specifically for like live demos and things, and I forgot to bring it today, so obviously I'm wearing my little orange thing that I wear when I don't bring the right clothes, but do know that I'm going to have my own little live wardrobe here, so I don't forget, and if I ever need to, I will just throw something on quick, because it's just the last thing that I think about in a day is what the heck I'm going to wear. So it's like whatever I grab at the moment, I'm leaving. I'm leaving with that. So, okay. That is really cute, actually. And I'm sorry that I have like a higher neck right now. But that's super cute if I could hold it the right way so the flower sits normal. But I am liking the double look too. If you were to have another layer here as your choker, that's super cute. And then I'm just going to hold this up because I don't have it attached to anything. Let me stretch out my shirt a little bit. That's really cute. The birds with that peridot crystal there in the center. I know it's a little hard to see, but I can't really pick you guys up. Ooh, hold on. But I can do this. I started breaking out too, so bear with me, you guys. Don't make fun of my face right now. I'm trying to give you guys a close-up, though. There we go. That's better. Love that. Yes, that is what I do. With the amount of design that I have to do all the time, I can't just think about other things like that. Those are super cute. Sorry about my green fingernails. At least they match the earrings. But you guys see what I'm talking about with that gold being right on the tips? So it like catches your eyes and in that hourglass when it moves. Love that. And then we have this one. This is the Lotus one with our little bead up there. Love that. This is our like antiqued one, super rustic. Very cute. Put that way. Trying to show you guys what the metallics look like when they're against the light, how they reflect. And then our last one are these fern wrapped earrings. If I can get them to hang the right way. Okay, that's better. So that's what the framed, with that marquee looking crystal wrapped with the fern around it. Did you like that, Lisa? Which ones? Did you like this one or this one? Oh geez, if they'll stink and stay, it's a lot harder to find the camera when you're super blown up. Okay, now we're gonna go back to zoom out view because if I could just do this the whole time or hippo it, I would, but we all get those breakouts once in a while. It's all that stress. All that stress. Okay. That is everything for today. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we have shown everything. So if you guys have any questions or you're looking for more of a certain piece or whatever, email me, warehouseofvintage.com. I will get you taken care of to the best of my ability if I can find more. Like if there's just like 1 or 2 pieces left or something, I'll do my best to get you guys all taken care of. Rosie loves the Lotus earrings. The rustic with leather is bomb. What? With leather? Which one has leather? You silly? I don't see leather in here. I don't have leather. You'll have to clarify, Lisa. Alright. You guys want a little sneak peek real quick for Wednesday? Stay right here. You guys are going to love it. Hold on. So, I only have 2 things designed right now. And obviously that's not enough, so I have to come up with another 4, probably 4 designs. Yeah. But this is the first necklace for Wednesday. And then, might as well just put that one on. And then I have these earrings. There's going to be 2 different vine options. One's going to be really limited. There's going to be like 4 of them. And then there will be like, there's more of these vines than the other vines. So if you want, there's other vines that you guys will probably want too. But I'm only limited to 4. So once that pre-order hits, you guys are going to have to order right away for the different style of vines on these. But other than that, I'm super excited for Wednesday. I mean, this is a good design start. This was my start to Friday, was designing for these. And then obviously the weekend comes in the way and then the stash review, but I should be able to get a few more designs done. But I'm so excited, and I hope you guys join me on Wednesday as well. Don't forget to mark you're going on the event. And yeah, that's super helpful, and then you'll get notifications that way. You'll get notifications if you've subscribed to our text messages, etc., etc. But other than that, I'm going to send you guys on your merry way, and I will see you guys on